Welcome to BitBoy Crypto, home of the BitSquad, the largest and greatest crypto community in all of the interwebs. In fact, the entire universe. That is right. This is Around the Blockchain. We come to you Monday through Friday at 5:02 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That is on purpose because we needed to be 2 minutes late heading into 2022, which is 2 days away. So that was on purpose, definitely on purpose. We talk about your favorite topics with your favorite guests. Today is no exception. We're going to get right into it. In that top right corner, we have Jayson Casper, where if you knew him back in the day, he's put on a show where, let's just say, he's shown the crowd more than they bargained for at his rock shows. So, I don't want to get into details because might put us in the R rating. So, you just have to watch the streams to know what we're talking about. Also, we have Joe Parys. I think me and him are both going to be Earthlings, but you got to check out his stuff if you want to know what we're talking about. That's right. I'll whisper the word. It's ICO. So, you definitely want to check out some Earthlings on the horizon. Also, we have Ragzy. First time I've actually been a host when you're on, so really looking forward. I might be at Blockchain Conference Miami in January, so maybe I'll see you at the Bitcoin Conference in January. So maybe. But if you love her Legos, you love her content, check her out over there. She'll probably have a little Lego piece for the people. I don't know. You have to find out. Altcoin Daily. With 1 point already, looks like the rolling blackouts may have hit California. He might be on his phone over there. I don't know what's going on, but you definitely you want to check him out. I was lurking in his Twitter space today, so let's just say they're in there dropping alpha. You got to check that out. So Altcoin Daily, really good stuff today. So, just follow them on Twitter. That's all you got to do. I think they're almost at 750,000. So go ahead, hit that follow button over there. And in the description, links for all the people on the channel. Go there, show them some love, subscribe, like, all that good stuff. But today we're going to be talking about Bitcoin. Almost at 1 million. That is good stuff, man. That is good stuff. Yeah, I think Ben's at almost 750. So crushing them on that Twitter. It's the Spaces. Spaces is the secret sauce. But today we're going to be talking about Bitcoin bouncing into the new year, or is it going to stumble and fumble? Who knows? Also, we have the top wins of 2021 and the biggest L's of 2021. Cue the Fortnite dance. But before we do all that, you know what time it is. It's the time for that black and white airplane to fly around the globe. It is the Market Watch. We're going to keep it short and breezy today because we're going to be talking Bitcoin. Pretty flat. We're looking at, up 0.14%, really just not doing anything. I mean, everything is just kind of just hanging out, the 0%, 1% range. So let's get right into talking about Bitcoin here. We got Bitcoin. Let's see, right now, what is the exact price? 47,286. We bounced down to that 46.5 level. We wicked down to like 46. Now, Jayson, I know you're a shorter time frame guy when it comes to trading. You like to scalp. You like to get in. You like to get out. You're like a ninja. You're the farmer ninja is what we all call you. So what are you thinking is going to happen for this last, let's see, we're looking at only about 30 hours for the remainder of the year, for the Eastern time zone. So what are you kind of expecting for this last day and a quarter, day and a half? Yeah, he's going to break out the charts. Wild. I love some Casper charts.
Yeah, so this is Bitcoin on the 12-hour chart right here, the old Bitcoin. And as you can see right here, we have come down to a very critical level of support right here. We've got a Fibonacci golden pocket. And when we come to a golden pocket, that means we can expect support to hold. And right now, as long as we don't lose this golden pocket, I think we could get a significant bounce up to this next key level around 57K. And I want to show you something real quick. But we do have here, as price is coming down into this support, we are getting lower lows. But if we take a look at good old market Cipher B, we can see market Cipher B is giving us higher lows, and we see that money flow starting to curve up. And this is called a bullish divergence. When we see this, it usually means we can get a big move to the upside. So that's definitely something that I'm looking for and something I'm stoked on.
All right. Yeah, I'm definitely, I like that you're breaking down the bullish divergence. Oftentimes you'll hear people talk about it, but I'll admit when I first got into crypto, I would hear, I think it was, what's his name? Dan, the Cardano guy. He would mention it a lot. I can't remember his exact YouTube channel name, but, really good stuff. And yeah, basically you see them kind of converging, you see that market Cipher B and, they kind of come together. And we're not saying this is guaranteed going to happen, but typically, you will see some good things. So Glassnode, they brought up a good point. They put out a newsletter, a little annual letter. We're about to enter this holiday period. During holiday periods, we have low volume. with that low volume, we're going to see giant spikes. So, we could see some pretty big action moving into these final days. But then Michael Saylor, he decided to enter the room. He came in, he bought more Bitcoin. The exact number, it was 1,914. It was right under 100 million. They bought it, this month. Now, Altcoin Daily, we keep seeing MicroStrategy, they come in, they buy, but the hype is diminishing. Kind of like an Elon in a Doge tweet. Every single time it loses power. But when he was first doing it, oh my God, we were all, we were throwing confetti in the air. Is there any number of Bitcoin he can purchase that would get the crypto community excited? What is that number? Does he have to buy 1 million of them?
Yeah, it's kind of interesting how when he first, I'm a big fan of Michael Saylor. When he first started like coming out with, kept continually buying every dip, it was like, 1,000 Bitcoin, then 100 Bitcoin, and then, 5 Bitcoin, this like then smash buy on, Square's Cash App. At this point, I don't think that there's any amount of Bitcoin he could buy that would surprise people. But I think, right now, some people are probably laughing at Michael Saylor because his average Bitcoin price that he bought, it's got to be around like 40, 50 grand, I would think, maybe 30 grand since he first started buying Bitcoin at $11,000. But I think as more time goes on, Michael Saylor will be, looked at as a legend because he's really like placing his bets for, not Bitcoin in 2021 or 2022, but Bitcoin in the 2020 decade.
Yeah, I watched his hour and 20-minute interview over the Christmas break, and I actually, I started feeling more bullish for Bitcoin, even though I've heard everything he said. He throws out those metaphors. It's the weird thing, he's like all of a sudden he paints this scenario where, you're an Aztec warrior and you see the conquistador land on the shore, and what are you gonna do? And you're like, buy Bitcoin, and it doesn't even make sense, but you just find yourself nodding and going along with it. His average price is actually right above 30K. This recent purchase actually just got him above 30K. Now, Joe, I'm sure if it goes below 30K, he's going to buy more. Some people are going to herald him as the hero. They're going to say, oh my God, the hero stepped in. It's below his average price. He's still buying more. Other people, they're going to call him an idiot. They're going to say, oh my God, this fool just will never learn. Don't you know Bitcoin's going to 7,000, said the bear. Why is he still buying it? How would you personally feel if you see him just continuously buying and buying and buying? Does he not know what the bottom is, or, is he the hero we all need?
Well, I really appreciate being back on the show here, DZ, and appreciate the introduction as always. But, at some point, you have to throw in the towel, right? Like, if it keeps dipping and we break key support levels here, you kind of have to, like, question yourself and go, okay, maybe I was wrong about this. And so I don't know if he'll ever have that moment. Maybe he just has so much conviction that he's just going to buy all of the Bitcoin forever. But, if it did break like 30,000, I think he would actually buy more. As crazy as that sounds, like I think he would just keep buying and buying and buying because he really does have that conviction. However, I don't think we're going to go back down there personally. Like Jayson said here, the technicals look good to hold where we're at. We could be making a nice bottom. We could be looking to move back towards the upside. And personally, for me right now, I think with the new year coming, I think people are selling. They're taking their tax harvest advantages here. If they're in a loss, they're going to take their L on paper, and then they're going to potentially look towards the new year and moving things up. So obviously, we brought the green back out, and I think things are going to be looking pretty green for 2022 with Bitcoin and everything else.
I will say this push down towards the end of the year definitely makes, that 12-month horizon, will it be higher or lower? I'm definitely starting to lean a lot more in the higher camp. If you would have asked me 2 months ago, I would say, December 2022, it's definitely going to be lower. It will be in the midst of a bear market. But, the Michael Saylors, they're buying. It wasn't just Michael Saylor. We have Morgan Stanley. They're buying more Grayscale Bitcoin Trust. So you have this institutional money. It's just pouring in. Now, Ragzy, we're used to, sometimes 90, usually around an 85% correction. You'll see a high, it'll go down 85%. We saw it time and time again. I know, I personally thought, that's basically almost written in. Maybe it'll reduce a little to like 80%. But, I think we're all starting to, question these normal, I don't want to say heuristics, but, these normal kind of things that we all thought was just going to be the deal. Where do you see, say this does happen? They keep buying. Can we see another 80% correction, or are those days done forever?
Well, thank you so much for having me on again. It's truly been a blast. Look, I think nothing's set in stone. I think, crypto is still the wild, wild west out here. So I think basing, data, market data, and trying to project like Bitcoin based on what it did in 2017 and that bull run, I feel like is out the door because it's just so unpredictable. And, earlier this year, we saw like what, a 55% of correction, and then Bitcoin hit an all-time high shortly after that. So I think anything's possible. I wouldn't rule out like an 80% correction at all. I don't think we're going there, but I definitely wouldn't rule it out. But who's to say it won't correct that much and then kind of bounce back up? Like, based on what it's already done this year. I still think we have quite a bit of ways to go, though. But it's been interesting to kind of follow the narrative based on different statistics and data. You had Plan B kind of predicting that 135 Bitcoin in December, and that hasn't happened, right? So I think it's a little risky to kind of see if it's going to go down 80% or go up 3,000% based on past data, because the way the market has turned this year is very, very different to how it ran in 2017.
Yeah. Oh man, did we all believe that Plan B? Everybody, end of October, were like, he's right again. It just keeps happening. This will continue forever. And time told a different tale with that one. But let's get to the lightning round right here. It's going to lead us into this kind of year-end review that we got going on. That is right. Whoa, watch out for that electricity. I'm going to ask everybody here, what is your favorite coin for 2022? Altcoin Daily. I'm going to start with you. What's your favorite coin for this year?
Man, dude, that's such a hard question. I don't like to be limited. As things change, I'm happy to change my mind. I guess, I got to say Bitcoin's my favorite coin. People say,
Okay.
Will the flippening happen in 2022? I think Bitcoin keeps its #1 spot.
All right. Bitcoin keeps the #1 spot. Suck at Ethereum, he said. Jayson, what is your favorite coin for 2022?
Well, I am an ultra absorbent Bitcoin maxi pad. I don't know. I'm kidding, actually. I'm not a Bitcoin maximalist, but you know what I think for 2022? I think metaverse stuff, like Mana, Sand, Gala. I know this is not one coin, but the thing is, I think there's so much upward potential for this up and coming industry, and I don't think it's reached its potential at all. And I think we're going to have maybe a metaverse bull market potentially in 2022. That's going to outperform a lot of other stuff, kind of like what we saw with DeFi back in the summer of 2020. So I don't know. I'm going to say Mana because I like the way it sounds.
All right. I like Magic the Gathering, so I can't, discount the Mana there. Joe Parys, turn 1 elf, go. What do you say for the top coin 2022?
Well, I think that Ethereum was definitely a big coin last year, and this coin hasn't even hit the market yet, and it's hoping to solve a lot of Ethereum's issues.
I know where you're going
Pulse.
with this. I know where you're going with that one.
I knew we'd have some fun with this one, but I'm going to say Pulse, man. Honestly, I think that there could be some magic in that ecosystem in that coin, so...
I feel the pulse. I feel the pulse. Hey, full disclosure, I sacked a little. You know what I mean? Like,
what makes
we've
it
had
different from Solana or something? Wait, you're talking about what? Pulse.
What, Pulse
X,
Pulse
or?
chain? Yeah. There's the Pulse X. There's the Pulse chain.
Yeah.
What makes
the
Pulse
token itself?
What makes Pulse different
look,
from
you're
BSC?
The watches.
Look, from a technical perspective, right? Like, there's probably not that much more technically different. There's probably Solana could
why
be
is
faster.
it interesting to you?
It's interesting to me because of the founder. He created other cryptocurrency coins that have gone up hundreds of thousands of X's, and in crypto, man,
Just
honestly,
tax, right?
yes. Well, and look, I get it's controversial, but numbers don't lie. From a point of number go up, right? Like. And that's where it is. And so there's a massive community over there. People are diehards, and that's just my call. I could be wrong. So just
I'm
I like the pushback there.
What pushback, dude? I'm asking him a question.
No. I think it's fair to say, we're not following Richard Hart's projects for the tech. We're mostly following for the community. And I think that's fair to say. It is hard you can't discount the Hex community. I mean, they come in droves, they come in strong, they're getting tattoos, they're all over, they're shilling it everywhere. So, I think it's fair to say, like, we're not programmers here. We don't have Ivan on tech here breaking down, Pulse's real, utility. We don't know, but I think that's okay to say.
Well, what's
like,
the problem?
We don't know
what's
what
the
it's gonna
problem with
do.
Hex? Why would anybody like? What would somebody say would be the
Oh,
problem?
that is a good question. Some would call it a Ponzi, due to the tokenomics of the buying pressure from the site where you buy it, and Richard Hart's allocation of it. Some would say it's decentralized, but that's what people say, and he has really good answers when you bring up those points, and his community is satisfied with those answers. So at the end of the day, I think that's all that matters. I don't know if it was you or your brother on the show with him, but really good job with
Yeah,
that.
that was
But
me.
man, I could feel the temperature rising just by us bringing up Richard Hart. So Richard, if you're watching, if they clip this, we love you.
It's
You're
all
welcome
cool,
back
dude.
anytime.
It's like I'm happy, and I'm happy anybody's making money in crypto. It is just like a controversial type thing, and people get touchy when you bring it up. So
it does, and his vampire dungeon doesn't help the effect. But Ragzy, back to the lightning round. We're gonna wrap it up with you here. What is your favorite coin for 2022?
All right, to keep the drama going. I like the drama on the show. I'm gonna go with XRP. Which I know is extreme. I
You
knew you were
delivered.
gonna
Yeah, we're keeping the
I knew
heat
you
up.
were
All
gonna
right.
go there. I'm gonna keep the drama going. I'm gonna go with XRP to keep it interesting. And I'll tell you why too. XRP last bull cycle was last to moon and ended up outperforming Bitcoin, and that hasn't happened yet. And yes, I know the lawsuit has really, really, caused it to lag behind this year. But what I really like about this cryptocurrency is I'm really bullish on the technology of RippleNet. I really love the technology. I like that they're going to be carbon neutral by 2030. I like that it's faster. I like that it solves a huge cross-border payment problem. And I think it's not over for XRP. But aside from that, less dramatic, I'm also extremely bullish on anything that has to do with blockchain gaming. I think it hasn't exploded yet. I think there's going to be the next Axie Infinity. We could see like kind of boom out of 2022. So, I think this was the year for like non-fungible tokens and things like that. And I think that next year it's going to be blockchain games. I think so. I have my eye on a bunch of different ones.
All right. We got a couple people liking the gaming tokens. I mean, he has the Pokemon hat, the Pikachu hat that I referenced last time. So I appreciate you bringing it on. And Ragzy, I'm old, so I remember the Lego gaming. So maybe Lego gets back into it. You do the Lego Batman, the Lego Star Wars, the Lego Marvel stuff or whatever. But I was a big fan of those games. But yeah, we're running out of time. All right, another patented long lightning round, but let's get to the top wins of 2021. It's been quite a year. I think it's fair to say, 2017, that was a huge year for crypto. Bigger than 2018, bigger than 2019, and I would argue bigger than 2020. And we didn't get one of those just insane years where, you start seeing it on a Fox News or a CNN, you have your uncle asking you about it. I think 2021, it's fair to say, the biggest year in crypto ever. But we've had, these are what I'm considering wins. I'm going to bring them to you. If you disagree, please let me know. Just kind of give me your thoughts on this. But, one of the wins, I think, is Facebook's rebranding. Whether you say it's more of a win for Facebook or more of a win for crypto, I think that's up for debate. I would say more of a win for crypto. But they're changing the name to Meta. They've also allocated $10 billion for development, and they're pledging to hire 10,000 engineers in the EU. So we're talking about a lot of people here. Now, let's see. Jayson, he wasn't even born when, they put the camera on you. Now I have to ask you here. Now, Jayson, I sent you that friend request. I'm still waiting for it. But how long until, I'm going to bring this one to you actually because you have the headgear on. How long until there's a real competitor when it comes to the headgear space, that can maybe, muscle them out of the, that top position? And also, what are your thoughts on the whole rebranding?
Yeah, I'm not really sure how long it'll be until there is a competitor. Probably not very long. The rebranding, I think it's a great step forward for blockchain, for crypto. But, my feelings on it in general are that I'm not comfortable with the fact that Mark Zuckerberg is the guy that is going to be leading the world into the metaverse. I'm not too comfortable with that. I feel like it might end up more like a virtual prison than perhaps what we in the space are looking to accomplish with this kind of technology. So, it's a bittersweet pill to swallow, man. It's kind of like this Pikachu hat.
All right, and chat just wanted to let you know Jayson is the cool uncle that skips leg day. I just, oh, they're saying your calves are small. I'm just kidding. They didn't say that last part, but
actually, I stream a few days ago, guys. I showed a video of me doing 20 rep squats, man. So just because my legs are small doesn't mean I skip leg day. All right. So hey,
he was crushing the bar.
Green screen right now, 3 out of 10.
All right. They love the green screens. They love it. All right. Well, Ragzy, I'm gonna go to a second win here. We've seen just an insane, I would say Doge is a big winner of 2021. We saw a huge rise. It was about a half a penny January 1st. Now, it's definitely down from its high when right before Elon hosted SNL, but, it got up to about 70 cents. It drove a lot of adoption. A lot of people came, What are your thoughts on Doge, and are meme coins like kind of the secret Trojan horse we don't talk about?
I think they are actually, yeah. And I think that's why there's continued to be news and hype around it. I think like Doge is like kind of like the gym class hero in a way, because it proved like you can take a meme coin and turn it into something bigger, right? You're like that gym class hero. Yeah, it really is. Like, there was I remember like late 2020, there was like this hype building around Dogecoin. And then there were so many people like, oh, don't buy it, it's a meme. It's never going to hit a cent. It's not going to happen. And then it hit like 70 cents this year. I think it's the Trojan horse in a way, because it does allow for mass adoption. I said it like last time I was on the show, like if you look at like the Gen Xers and Gen Zers on TikTok and things like that, like these kids are only talking about meme coins. They only care about like Shiba Inu, Dogecoin, and I won't name the others, but others, and that's what gets people excited and interested, and also gets people interested who aren't already in cryptocurrency and they're not already holding Bitcoin. I think the power is in the meme itself, of the Doge and kind of the Shiba, the image of the dog. It kind of connects like the art with the technology. And I think that's easier for people to understand and wrap their head around. So I think they're going to continue to like kind of pump and shill some of these more popular coins, whether it be like a Dogecoin or a Shiba, because it brings more people into the market and introduces them to crypto.
Well, speaking about bringing art and technology together, we can't mention 2021 winners without mentioning NFTs. NFTs just had an insane year. I would say, fair to say it was mostly kickstarted by Beeple's just huge sale of 69 million. Nice. And, then it just continued from there where, then we saw the Bored Ape Yacht Club just skyrocket. I think they minted for 0.3 or so. And ETH was pretty cheap back then. So you're looking at around, about a 0.09, like just a regular NFT mint. And now they're, regularly, 50 ETH, 60 ETH floor. So we're seeing, just the prices have gone parabolic. A lot of money is being flowing, whether it's whales, whether it's, retail interest, and it's trickling up and then it trickles down and then it just rinses, repeats. Joe, you're starting to get into NFTs here, is that going to continue as far as, the adoption, the rise? Because we're still talking about a fraction. You look at the stats, like only 1.8 million people, signed up for Coinbase, and that's not even existed. And you look at OpenSea, and it's like only 400,000 people. So not even 1 million people had used OpenSea, which is by far the most popular marketplace. So, it's fair to say there's a lot of room to grow. So, it is possible, but do you see the growth continuing into the coming year?
I definitely see the growth, and I'll give you a few reasons why. I think this is going to be one of the biggest trends to continue actually in 2022. And it's funny enough, a couple of my siblings are home here for the holidays, and one of them works with some NFL players just from her job. And she says, they keep buying these Bored Ape Yacht Club things, and she's like, what is that? And I'm like, they're these NFTs, right? And, they're really buying them for community and status. And there's a whole lot of other reasons why people are now holding on to these NFTs, right? It's not just, for utility or whatnot. A lot of it is for community, and a lot of it is to be completely honest, a lot of people like to flex these things as well. I think I saw a guy had his Apple Watch, and on his Apple Watch was a Bored Ape Yacht Club. That was almost better than putting on a $300,000 watch, right? And so, as you mentioned, people are still very unaware that these are even existing. And I don't believe we've even gone to the whole next level, which would be like going to a sports game and your ticket is going to be an NFT, and doing so many other things with NFT utility. I think this is only the beginning. I think this is going to be a really massive trend to continue into 2022. And, like anything, though, you got to really pick and choose wisely the NFTs that you're going for, because a lot of them will fizzle out and a lot of them will not make it, but a lot of them will. And when should I say a lot of them? A small minority will, and if they do, you can find the next Bored Ape. You'll be doing well.
Yeah. I mean, a small amount. A lot of them will, but it will because there's so many projects. But 98% are going to tank. But those 2% are going to do pretty well, and that 0.2% is going to change people's lives. So at 10,000 drops at a time. Yeah, exactly.
Sorry, I had to chime in because as an NFT artist, like obviously I'm obsessed with NFTs. Well, I agree with everything Joe said, but also I think like what's fascinating with the NFTs, like you just said, OpenSea doesn't even have 1 million users, but yet billions of dollars have flown through their platform already. Like in August, we saw, I think it was like $3 billion worth of volume just that 1 month. So I think like NFTs are here to stay. And I think what I love about NFTs is that it allowed normal people who aren't tech and software engineers, right? I don't think in tech terms. It allowed people like me, artists and regular people, to kind of understand crypto in a different way by using a sort of digital asset with a piece of artwork, and have people understand like how it's how it's sold and traded on the blockchain. So I think that they're going to be around for quite some time.
Yeah, excellent training tool for those boring aspects of that blockchain, that we're talking about, the technologies where, we all got to, we kind of forget, but there was that moment where we're noobs, we don't really understand, ledgers or blockchains or immutable. So, it is just it's a good stepping stone for people. Well, I would say the biggest win of 2021, I'm bringing it to you, Altcoin here, it has to be El Salvador buys Bitcoin. The big government adoption that we predicted happened sooner than probably most people actually thought it would happen. So it came. I think it was what was it, the Bitcoin Miami conference? They don't have that much Bitcoin, but I think it's more of a narrative. And they have more of. I think they're approaching around 2,000. They've given every citizen $30 worth. So this is it's a great thing for the community. It's a great thing for the fundamentals. Maybe not so much the technicals. It's not really moving the needle, but, it gets people talking, and, we could see possibly a domino effect. Are we going to see the domino effect continue in this year, or is this going to be, when does the next country adopt it as the legal tender? Is it any for this coming year? What's the number if you think it is?
So many positive aspects for Bitcoin and crypto holders about El Salvador adopting Bitcoin and making it their unit of account, the money for their country. One of the biggest things is simply the narrative, just the fact that a small country is doing this 2 years ago, let alone more than 2 years ago, but 2 years ago, if you would have said, hey, in 2021, a small country is going to adopt Bitcoin, you would have been called a moon boy, dude. You would have been written off completely. But that's exactly what happened. I would like to see in 2022 more small countries adopt Bitcoin because, it's almost like, not really, but a lot of people could think a lot's riding on this one thing going well. So it'd be better if more we saw a continuation of what we're seeing. And particularly, I mean, just thinking about businesses accepting Bitcoin, we've seen so many throughout the last 4 or 5 years. It doesn't always work out with every business. Some businesses have a lot of tension and bad experiences, and they stop accepting Bitcoin. So I expect to see some small countries have tension and bad experiences, and maybe they'll fall off. But overall, I think it's like incredibly cool, and I want to see continuation, and I'm really bullish. And before we move on, I do just want to say you can't mention the top winners of 2021 without mentioning BitBoy and the team and the brand. How you guys have skyrocketed, dude, this year is amazing.
Yeah, they're at BJ. I don't know if you remember. I think they're was it 200,000 this time a year ago or 400,000 subs this time a year ago. So yeah, I mean they've
two.
definitely jumped up. And I mean I was watching Ben with was it the CEO of Fax way back then, and then I saw that he had a YouTube. I was like, oh yeah, there's that guy that was telling me about the dark web, and oh wait a minute, Bitcoin, he's into it too. Well, let's talk about. It's time to talk about the big L's, right? I'm not talking LL Cool J. I'm not talking, Big L the rapper. All right, we didn't plan that. That was good stuff, BJ. That was good stuff right there, man. Good, he's on point. You can't, you know what? 2021 was a win for the Biscuit Jesus as well. But I would say one of the big L's of the year is Ethereum gas. The GWEI is down. GWEI peaked in February. I remember essentially getting priced out of, swapping tokens because I wasn't really doing enough. And I have my old accounting background. So I'm like, looking at the percentage I lose just immediately, I was like, well, this isn't worth it. I need to do a 20%, I feel like I'm breaking even at that point. So it basically pushed me out. GWEI's down, but the price is up. We keep feeling it. Jayson, any thoughts of, the next year supposedly we're moving to proof of stake? Maybe even Q1. It was supposed to be December, January. Now it's kind of Q1. If that does happen, is this going to be huge? Do we see the 20K Ethereum? Can the chart support that? Can the market support that? What is it looking like as far as the gas situation coming into this next year?
Yeah, it is interesting. Proof of stake, we've been talking about that for a very long time. Keep kicking the can down the road. I definitely do think that if Q1, if we can get something like that going, yeah, absolutely. Ethereum, I think, will absolutely skyrocket 100%.
All right, let's just say, EIP 1559, it went off essentially without a hitch. And then we had a record number of green candles. I don't know if you remember that. It was a few months back. Of course, this is just moon boy scenario. We're not saying Jayson is saying it will be this price. But let's just assume it rolls out smooth in Q1. Where do you see the top of Ethereum hitting? Is there like any kind of just insane Fibonacci resistance at any, just moonshot levels?
Oh, we've got insane Fibonacci levels, man. They are absolutely insane, these fibs, all right? And I'm pulling them out all over the place.
Dan Brown would not be able to handle himself. That'd be too much.
So, yeah, honestly, Ethereum is in an uptrend right now on a very large time frame, breaking out of a cup and handle, which is a bullish pattern. And yeah, we're having a retracement right now. But I think Q1 2022, if things can go well for Ethereum, the next major fib level is coming in over 6,000. And that's the 1.618. And just from the trend that we're in right now, that's the 1.618 extension, a very common area to hit. And if we can come above that, we're looking at over a $10,000 Ethereum. And I don't think it's too crazy because what we saw Ethereum do in 2021 was phenomenal. That thing just would not stop. I got my shorts pulled down around my ankles many times trying to short that thing. I saw some bearish signs on Market Cipher B, those uneven butt cheeks. But Ethereum, man, it was just out of control. So, I've seen it happen in the past.
The shorts around your ankles, did it take you back to that metal show, the incident?
Where my jeans ripped on stage and everyone saw the fib? Yes. Took me back to there. It was not a fun
experience. But they didn't see the extension. Moving on. Ragzy. One of the big L's was the Solana outages. It shut down. It was first in September. It shut down. It was 17 hours. It happened in the middle of the night. We didn't really even talk about it. Then it shut down for hours again this month. I think it was on the 4th. If you would say, hey, there's going to be a major cryptocurrency, but the whole network's just going to shut down for almost a whole day, you can't even use it, what do you think is going to happen? I'm going to say, oh, that coin will die. The price will plummet, and everyone will say, haha, look at that failure. That didn't happen at all. What's your thoughts on this whole Solana failing, yet no one cares?
No one cares, listen, because these things don't just happen to Solana, right? They've happened to plenty of other projects. I don't know if anybody remembers, but earlier this year when Bitcoin had that huge price drop, everyone was trying to figure out why, and it's not confirmed this is why, but it was just a coincidence that China had this massive power outage and the price of Bitcoin tanked that very, very day, right? And listen, I think Solana has a great ecosystem, and I'm very, very bullish on Solana. I'm still bullish on it. I think they're going to figure it out. It's kind of like people have been making that argument against Ethereum too, in a different way about the gas fees, as you mentioned earlier. And you'll hear some of these whales on Twitter in these spaces, and they say they feel like Vitalik and the team at Ethereum are going to figure it out. And I feel like the same same thing for Solana. And you have to remember, like, Solana hasn't been around that long compared to some of these other. Their ecosystem hasn't been around as long as some of these other projects. And I feel like in the short amount of time that they've implemented an NFT platform and are doing all these different things. So I feel like their team's going to figure it out. You have a lot of really good partners behind Solana. And overall, I think I don't know if it's going to give Ethereum a run for its money, like everybody's saying, but I feel like it's going to catch up. I mean, they seem to be on a pretty good trajectory, and I'm curious to see what's going to happen in 2022 for sure.
Yeah, there is smart money behind it. There's, really rich people, smart people behind it. And, kind of what you brought up with Vitalik, I'm pretty bullish on Vitalik. When you hear the guy speak, you're like, man, this guy's thinking on a different level. He probably doesn't even care too much about the price. He just wants his ETH to work. So, yeah, it's definitely vital for Vitalik to get that right, or he'll take a lick. So, yeah, it's definitely going to be bad. All right. Also, one of the worst things that has happened, hacks, huge hacks. Was it the Poly hack? They lost $611 million worth of various cryptocurrencies. I actually had exposure to one of the coins, like 20th one down the list. The price tanked. I actually bought the dip, and it ended up being a really good play. Most people just panic sold, and they were hurt pretty bad, So, what are, I'm going to bring it to you, Altcoin Daily. Kind of, what are your thoughts on all these hacks? Are we going to get smarter? Are we getting dumber as new people coming in? Are we going to see $1 billion hack this year? What are your thoughts for this coming year?
Man, I hope not. I hope we don't see $1 billion hack. We all remember, or we all know about, in 2014 when Mt. Gox got hacked,
Yep.
The price crashed, and a lot of people thought that was the end of Bitcoin and crypto. And in the past couple of years, we have seen a lot of hacks. And I think it's important that, especially newer people coming in, know that that's a risk. It really depends on your risk tolerance. Like, you certainly don't need to invest in projects that, have a high risk of being hacked.
Yeah. And BJ's just throwing out a note with inflation. Yeah, we'll see one eventually. Yeah, this is probably a good point there.
Well, you call it inflation. I call it a slow rug pull by the government. But
yeah,
dude.
I call it theft as well.
Yeah. But here's the thing, you mentioned Solana got turned off for a day or whatever, and the price didn't go down. Those are bull market vibes, man. Bull market vibes.
Yeah.
In a bear market, I think it would affect the price, but in a bear market, in a bull market, it's not happening. I think like a centralized exchange hack, that would be pretty bad. Like if Coinbase got hacked or something, that would scare the market. But other than that, just par for the course, and practice proper money management and risk management.
That's good advice. And AKA, no one on this panel will ever DM you. So if you see us trying to help you with your crypto journey, it's fake. Just look at the spelling. It's altcoin with a Y, like altcoin. Just practice diligence. All right, the final L. I think this is maybe the biggest L. Joe, maybe you'll disagree here, but I think it's China bans crypto. We first saw it. Obviously, some people had some knowledge because we saw the F2 pool just dumping hard. Even though Bitcoin's price was still going up, they were still dumping hard. I think George, we are all George. He was the one who put the spotlight on it. So, we saw that. Then they started just banning entire provinces from, mining. And then they just banned mining altogether. It's gone forever. We know they don't like it because they can't control it. We say that, hey, this is a good thing. This is good in the long term. We're all kind of, pushing that narrative. Is it really, though? Because we're looking at the second largest economy in the world. We're looking at the most populated country in the world. And we're looking at a rapidly growing middle class, which is, great for crypto investments. So is it actually good that China bans crypto?
Well, if we're just looking at a price, then because every single time they ban crypto, the price typically tends to go in the other direction. So if we're looking at it from that perspective, the answer would be yes. But, if we're looking at it from another, perspective of everyone, yes, exactly. If we look at it from the perspective of, people using crypto over fiat, right? Then, yeah, I don't think it necessarily would be a good thing that they did ban it, right? Because Bitcoin's whole narrative really, to me, is just kind of, putting the control back to people's money for them, right? And that was the whole kind of idea in the beginning was, look, we can't control our fiat money. The government's printing way too much of this. Then the economy's crashing. And what are we going to do? Well, let's create our own and let's do something different. So I think it could go either way, to be completely honest. I'm not super well versed with how things operate over in China, but from my understanding and from, a macro, a bigger picture, I think everyone should have the equal opportunity to get into crypto. And I think if they could, they would enjoy it.
Yeah. And you know what? Like, we say, oh, we're in it for the tech and stuff, but if the Chinese yuan had an insane APY, I'd probably stake it, if I'm just going to be honest here. But yeah, someone in the chat, wait, those pics DZ DM me were fake. Well, Radio Phase Crypto, obviously those were real, but we had that moment, we're listening to the radio. So, yeah, of course, you wheeled me around on the radio flyer. It was a good time, but that is all we got time for. This was the final episode of ATB for the entire year. It's been a great run. A big shout out to our regular guests. Big shout out to the newer guests. Jayson, Ragzy. Definitely love having you on. Joe, you always filled in. When we didn't have that spot. Altcoin Daily, one of our OG regulars. So of course we love having you. Your brother, but we love having you. We love having Aaron on, of course. So no, it's been a great run. But it looks like the final winner for 2021. It's Ragzy. Ragzy, you took it. You took the trophy. You don't even have to make one out of Legos anymore. You actually have, the intangible object in real life. So Ragzy, leave us with some parting thoughts for the year here.
I will build a trophy out of Lego. I'll take a picture. I'll tag you guys in it on Twitter. Thank you so much for having me. It's been so amazing. I'm so excited to be the end of the year around the blockchain champ. Thank you guys so much again for having me on. Yeah, listen, overall, I'm bullish on the markets going into 2022. I do think we'll see some corrections, but overall, I still think we have a bit of a ways to go. I've really been honored this year to represent the females too in crypto, along with many, many talented others. And, so if you want to follow me on Twitter, I'm trying to get my Twitter game on. It's Ragzy Art on Twitter, but I wish you all a blessed holiday, a happy new year. Keep thriving, keep being creative. And again, thank you so much. It's been
all right,
blast,
and that is
truly.
all we got. BitSquad, be safe out there this coming weekend. There's going to be a lot of dangerous people on the road, so just go Uber. Get the Uber XL so you can be in the SUV. That way you'll be all right. But yeah, that is all we got time for. We'll be back Monday of next week. So until then, BitSquad, see you next year.